Where you going, dude? We're just starting. Hey guys, Jamie and Wobbles from Red Raccoon Games here for Tuesday night Red Raccoon Games Live. Hey, Red Raccoon Games Live. So coming at you from the basement, Wobbles and I have been trying to track down a cricket that is incredibly loud here in the basement, and we haven't found him yet. And it's annoying both of us quite a bit. Wobbles was actually trying to hunt for him too. But he's not a very good hunter, let's be honest. He's more of a eater and sleeper as his primary roles in life. Right, dude? Eating and sleeping, pretty good. So yeah, Wobbles is mostly an eater and a sleeper, and but he enjoys his eating and his sleeping, so it's pretty good for him. And the cricket does irritate him. He was enjoying some smoked salmon the other day, so hopefully he is not going to puke on me right now. Are you heading out already? Getting down? You want to say hi to everybody first? No? All right. You seem kind of out of it. Okay. Well, Wobbles is off. So I got my window open here to see what kind of questions you guys have for me tonight. Couple of things going on. We do have tables ready to go to be taken outdoors to do some outdoor hammer this Sunday. We're doing Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday where you can rent a table to play outside. You can either play for Warhammer, you play right outside the doors of the game store, or for, I'm going to move my camera here since Wobbles took off, or for board games or card games, we can set up tables over in front of the bistro. And when the bistro is open, then you can have adult beverages. So that's going on. This Saturday is the first Friday event for September, and Kelly has helped organize it. It's all about honey and bees. As you guys know from my swollen up face from a few weeks ago, we have our own beehive. I did get stung again. This time I got stung in the arm. I don't know if you guys can actually tell, but my entire forearm on this side is swollen kind of like Popeye the Sailor right now, to the point where it makes my skin feel like it's stretching. So I was wearing a bee coat, and she stung me through the coat, and that's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to be how that works. So she got in between my glove and the coat and stung me through the coat. But we did do a honey extraction event the other day, and we did successfully get almost 3.5 gallons of honey from the frames that we took out of the hive. So that's good. We've got a lot of honey. I'm probably going to make some mead, and we're going to can and bottle it. It's going to be a lot of stuff for gifts for our friends. So honey is going on. So this Friday, from 5 until 8 p.m., I think it is. Let me double check my times here. 5 until 8 p.m. Is the event. We are going to have 10% off of all bee or honey related games in the store during the event. I got to be honest with you, I was really hoping. We were trying to get from Elf Creek Games, we were trying to get Honey Buzz. Elf Creek Games, of course, are the guys that are over in Peoria. I'm sorry, Champaign. And we were trying to get Honey Buzz from them, and the timing just didn't work out. It looks like Honey Buzz is going to get released later in September. I think September 24th is the official release date. We, of course, have the Kickstarter versions coming to the game store. We try to support all of our local game designers from, so far we've gotten games from Gage and Michael in Bloomington. We've gotten games from Peoria and Barrington, and now Champaign, as well as up in Plainfield, Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, the suburb of Chicago. We have a cool new painting studio set up to make it easier to travel with your paints and your brushes. So we got that coming. The Studio X looks pretty awesome. So if you guys know of other Kickstarters by Central Illinois designers and stuff, just let us know and we'll take a look at them. And if we can work out something out with them, we do always try to support our local designers. I know that the guys, the Limitless Adventure guys, have a new book up on Kickstarter. I think it's still on Kickstarter right now. We need to reach out to Andy and get some copies of that book. We have the other Limitless Adventure books at the store right now. So those are pretty awesome 5th edition supplements to add cool new monsters and scenarios and gods and things of that nature into your 5e games. So if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, you should check out their stuff. My favorite monster that they've put in one of their books is an elder mimic. Most of the time we see mimics and their treasure chests that when you go to unlock the chest, the mouth opens and the mimic attacks, right? My favorite, what the elder mimic is it's a bridge. And as you're walking across the bridge, when you get about halfway across, the bridge is its mouth. And I thought that was pretty fun. So that's pretty awesome. There was a fun mimic in one of the adventures I ran for my group too, where the mimic there was a chest on the floor and my group was convinced that the mimic was the chest. So they were doing everything they could to protect themselves from the chest. And it turned out that the mimic was actually the ceiling. And so once they opened the chest, it dropped off the ceiling to attack them that way. So that's pretty awesome. Kind of fun little thing going on there. I'm trying to see if anybody's making comments on the video right now, and it's not doesn't seem to want to be cooperating with me at all here. So I am not a fan of the new Facebook. I know that everybody has been saying that. And sometimes, you feel like you're the crotchety old man, like, get off my porch, you damn kids. But there's things that just seem to not work anymore. And one of them is the ability to watch comments on live streams as they're happening. And just a whole bunch of stuff that just seems like it's moved or just stopped working. And with Facebook, you can never tell if it was intentional or not. So the tent mimic in the abandoned campsite. Oh, that sounds pretty fun too. Timothy. So apparently I can now finally see some of the comments because Tim just commented about a tent mimic. That is kind of mean. Crawl inside the tent to get some sleep and then the tent attacks you. That's kind of mean. The keg mimic is always kind of fun too. There's a Pathfinder minis and there's the mini of a keg that attacks you when you try to get some wine or meat out of the keg. So that's fun. So just shoot me whatever questions you guys have for tonight that you want to talk about. If you want to talk about anything with the store or new games coming up or Kickstarters that are happening, shows that you're watching on TV, hit me with the questions that you've got going on. So this Saturday, So Friday is the honey event for the First Fridays event. The following Saturday, which is Saturday, September 12th, is our Customer Appreciation Day. Those of you that get our email newsletters, I'm just going to say keep an eye out for that email newsletter. There's probably going to be a code in there that you're going to want to know about. And maybe a special way to get discounts at the store. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be out sometime next week. And then also that same day as the Customer Appreciation Day is also the downtown second Saturday sidewalk sale. I didn't realize how alliterative that was until I just said that out loud. The second Saturday sidewalk sale is down there. And so we're going to be blowing out a lot of clearance items on that day. So, so that'll be cool. Oh, Tim, I didn't even know you guys moved to Colorado, man. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Yes, I do have a couple of recommendations. So Aurora's down on the southeast side of Denver, if I remember right. My buddy Keith owns a store that is more just north of downtown, just north of the Lodo area. And I can never remember the name of it. It's a combination comic and it's a comic store and a game store at the same time. and I've been there and visited once, so it was pretty cool. I was checking it out, and then we went to eat in a cool restaurant in the Lodo area. That's when I was out there. Oh God, that was almost a year ago now. Let me find the name of Keith's store. There it is. What? Come on, Facebook. New Facebook. Okay, the name of Keith's store is I Want More Comics. Like I said, it's a combination comic store and game store. It's just north of the downtown. It actually is just over the border into Thornton. So that's a cool store. I know another guy, Tim's got a store. Yeah, Total Escape Games that's more Loveland though, and Loveland's kind of going out the west side. And then Travis's store is way up in Fort Collins, so that's not going to do any good. He's in Greeley. Gary's in Fort Collins. Those are both an hour and a half north of you, so those won't work. But yeah, check out Total Escape Games in the Loveland area, or I Want More Comics in Thornton, which is, pretty much go past Coors Field and go straight up the road up into Thornton, and you'll run into Keith's store. So pretty cool little place. I dig it. Like I said, it's a combination comic store. Keith and another guy I know, Steven, are also the creators of Cover Alpha Comics, which they're making some really amazing alternate covers for hot new number ones and issues of comics that are coming out. We were actually going to bring one into the game store. We don't really bring a lot of comics in, but there was an amazing alternate cover for an issue of Spider-Man with the Joker, Harley Quinn, and God, what's the new bad girl now that Harley is kind of almost a good character anymore? Joker got a new girlfriend who's even more twisted and demented than Harley, and can't remember her name either. I'm not very good at this. I don't really read Batman comics that often. Yeah, so check out I Want More Comics over there, and then Total Escape Games is in the Loveland area, so check both of those out. How's that for recommendation? Oh yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Also, just on the south side of the downtown area, we went to I was out there with my buddy Mark, and we went to a plaza where it's like going to a mall. I think they call them food halls. And it's like going to the mall, the food court of a mall, but it was all really cool restaurants. And it was on one of the websites I look at all the time when I travel is the Thrillist. And if you Google Thrillist best restaurants in Denver, this food hall will come up on there. It's got one of those really cool beer machines where you take the glass and you set it on the machine. You swipe your little card over it, and the beer fills from the bottom of the glass, and it fills up into the glass, and then it stops at a perfect level, gives you just the right amount of foam on the top of the beer, stops at the perfect amount every time, and you can just swipe your little badge to put more money on it, and then you can kind of have as much beer as you want. Had some really amazing Vietnamese food inside of that place, so that was pretty awesome as well. So check that out. But for restaurants, wherever you're traveling and you're in a major city, if you search the Thrillist and the best restaurants, it will come up with a list that's usually pretty well updated of what the hottest and best new restaurants are for whatever your city in. I've used it in Washington, D.C. We've used it in Chicago, Indianapolis, Denver, Atlanta, and the recommendations are always pretty solid. Now, some of the restaurants are really high-end restaurants, so you got to be careful on that. Make sure you check out the prices. But it also includes like dive bars in their top 10. If there's a dive restaurant in there, and we found some really cool places. One that was in Boston was an amazing sub sandwich place where they made their own bread and then just tons of meat on the sub, and that was pretty awesome too. So there's a food tip for you guys tonight. Wendy is asking about slapstick. Wendy? Are you talking about Wobbles? Or Slapstick the movie? because Slapstick the movie was an awesome hockey movie from the 80s with a bunch of other really bad hockey movies in the 80s. If you're talking about the cat, though, that's Wobbles. And he was here and decided to leave about 5 minutes into the broadcast tonight. So, yeah, so he headed out. Otherwise, I'm not sure what else you're referring to when you're asking about Slapstick. Was that the new girlfriend? Oh, the Joker's new girlfriend. Owlbear barbecue. Ooh, that sounds good. No, her name is Punchline. There it is. I Googled it. Yeah, Punchline is the Joker's new girlfriend. And yeah, she's supposedly even more crazy than the Joker than Harley Quinn ever was. That's a very good guess, though. Slapstick is a great name. Yeah, whereas Harley's blonde and Slapstick's got dark hair, and she just is apparently really, really mean. So, all right, let's see. I'm going to jump over. I do have a few tabs pulled up of some news that's going on. So, just announced today, I know a bunch of you guys have been really enjoying the new Elder Scrolls game that came out, the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. It's kind of a combination of, it blurs the line a lot between a miniatures tactics game and a role-playing game. And you can play it with miniatures or play it without miniatures as you decide that you want to. I think Modifius made that one. Yep, Modifius made that one. And they just announced a couple of new packs of miniatures that are, of course, all right out of the Elder Scrolls. Let me see if I can throw this up here real quick. So you can see this is one of the two miniature packs right there. So we've got some of the different races going on. Of course, everybody's got big axes and hammers and stuff. So pretty cool minis pack there. And here's the other minis pack. So we're going to get these ordered up and get these brought in as soon as they're releasing. Looks like they're supposed to ship actually like next week or so. So we'll make sure we get some of those in there, because I think some people have been buying Elder Scrolls stuff just to paint it, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we have some amazing painters that are painting through the store, and other people are actually playing the game. So that's pretty fun. Let's see what else I got here. Horizon Zero Dawn is a game that Jesse just pre-ordered the other day. This is a new game from Steamforged that's based on the video game. And it's getting a lot of buzz right now, too. So we did put this one on pre-order. We haven't seen a ton about how it actually plays, other than it's a semi-cooperative game, which is pretty cool that you can choose to work together, but somebody's ultimately got to win. So, so that one is on pre-order at the store right now. I got a little gnat flying around. I think I just got him. So that one looks pretty awesome. New scenario for Zombicide. So I'm a lot of you guys probably know that I'm a huge Zombicide fan. Love Zombicide. I own almost everything that is coming out for Zombicide, Black Plague, or Zombicide Invaders. I think I've got almost everything. So new scenarios sound pretty awesome. The new scenario for Zombicide Season 1. So go look for the wild ride out there if you're a Zombicide fan like I am. But right tagged along with this CMON announcement, I saw this particular announcement right here that Eric Lang is stepping down as head of design at CMON. He's been head of design, I want to say, for 5 years, something like that. And he has made some simply amazing games over his time at CMON. So we're going to be sad to see him go. But he said he's going to go freelance and do some freelance design again. And that means that he's going to design whatever game, however he wants to do it, and then he'll shop it out to publishers and let the publishers choose if they want to bring the game into their fold or not. So actually, a lot of designers are freelance designers like this. So A little bit surprising piece of news, but we're happy to see that Eric is not leaving the industry because he's made some pretty awesome games and that we're big fans of. So, including we're looking forward to the new Marvel United game that's coming out. Throw up the cat real quick. Where is he? I don't know where he went, Kelly. He was here and he was at the beginning of the broadcast and then he left and I don't know where he went to. So if you find him and bring him back down, then we'll get Wobbles featured back on the camera. But, he's an old grouchy old man and he just decided to get up and walk away. And there's not a whole lot I can do about him heading off into the wilderness. We discovered the other day that Wobbles and Thumbelina both like honey. And so that was new for us. We had no idea that cats liked honey at all. But hey, if cats like honey, cats like honey. I guess if bears can like honey, why can't cats like honey? See, what else? This is a fun one too. Let me throw this over here at you guys. This will be good for Jesse. New character pack announced for the Power Rangers Hero of the Grid. Jesse and Greg and several others at the store have really been enjoying the Power Rangers game, and it's got almost a cult-like following. I think you have to have been the right age to grow up with Power Rangers. So those guys all grew up with the Power Rangers the same way that I grew up with G.I. Joe and the Transformers. Because by the time the Power Rangers came on, I was like 19, and it was the stupidest stuff I had seen on TV. But if you were 10, Power Rangers was probably pretty amazing. And so there's a loyal following for the Power Rangers. The Renegade actually runs a Twitch channel that I think they broadcast every week where you can actually log in and watch people play the newest scenarios for the Power Rangers Hero of the Grids game and get tips and tricks. And they've got a pretty active community built up around this game. So I think Jesse's got everything. I think Dustin got everything. Greg's got everything. So maybe John's got everything. We sold a bunch of Power Rangers to folks at the store. So just another fun piece of news that's going on. Let's see here if there's any new questions over here. Show the sting. I did. I showed him my arm. It's hard to see in the camera, but I actually got stung right here in the forearm. And it's really, really swollen up. It's a little bit less today, because, prednisone. Apparently this is the summer where prednisone is Jamie's friend. And it's not really something that I want to have to deal with this summer is prednisone. Why am I picture on myself? That's weird. So, yeah. Of course, there is still tickets available for... There's still tickets available for our showing of Dune on Saturday the 12th as well. So the 12th is going to have the outdoor sidewalk sale, which is going to be a huge clearance blowout, the indoor customer appreciation sale, and then that night we're going to do the showing of Dune on the side of the building. As long as the college kids don't get us rolled back to phase 3. Because the city already told us that if we get rolled back to phase 3 because of the rate of infections, that they're going to cancel our event, because phase 3 says no groups bigger than 10 people. Phase 4, which is what we're in right now, we can have up to 50 people, but after you take staff out and stuff, it's about 40 of you guys and 10 of us. So we can't get rolled back to phase 3 until after we watch the movie. Dune is... we're going to watch the original theatrical release and not the 3-hour extended version. I thought that might just be too much for a few of you out there who haven't seen it. I want to say there's something like 7 different cuts of the movie that are out right now. And there's still rumors of a mythical 4-hour version of the movie that it makes it completely different than the original theatrical release, but nobody has ever seen this 4-hour version of the movie. And so we're just going to play the original theatrical release. It'll be a little bit shorter. you'll get kind of the sense of what 80s special effects looks like for those of you that are younger and weren't born yet, i.e. Jesse, who was born in 1990. Yeah, so that'll be fun. So that's all coming up on the 12th. I think that's most of the big stuff. Right now, we're already ramping up for Christmas, guys. We've got to get orders in now for stuff that we want to have in the store in late October and early November. So we're full on ramping into Christmas right now. We're going to film a few new things to show you guys. We're going to, we're working on a new commercial right now that will play. I don't know where it's going to play, but it'll probably play on Google maybe or YouTube or someplace like that. Who knows what we do with the commercial, but we're working on a commercial right now. We're working on a Christmas catalog or a holiday catalog, however you want to say it. So we're working on what's in that right now. We're trying to work with the publishers to make sure that any game we put in the catalog will actually be available all the way through Christmas, which is not the easiest thing to do. Lots of little stuff going on at the store. This week we got some more Double Masters VIP packs for those of you that play Magic. And we opened a bunch of them, and we have at least one of every box topper right now with the borderless alternate art cards that were the box toppers. They're pretty amazing with the artwork, including several Force of Wills and a bunch of the different swords and mana crypts and stuff like that. So if you're a Magic player, now is the time. If you're looking for some of these cards that are already starting to spike in price, now is the time to get a hold of us and tell us what you're looking for. Rise of Eldrazi, the newest Magic set, has started to be spoiled. Today we found out, I think it was today, maybe it was yesterday, I'm losing track, that all of the Kaladesh expeditions are getting reprinted, and they're going to be box toppers for Rise of Eldrazi. So, if you need a box or a bundle or pre-release kits or whatever you need, that's all available for pre-order right now. So you probably want to get in ahead of everybody else on that one. This new set, there's going to be set boosters, and there's not going to be very many. We think we're only going to get 18 boxes of the set boosters. We're going to get a lot of boxes of the regular draft boosters, but the set boosters, as soon as they announced it, all the stores knew that there were not going to be enough to go around because we knew WotC was going to underprint them. So think of this similar to the Brawl decks from last year, where there's just simply not going to be enough of them to go around. So the price on set boosters is going to go up pretty much right off the bat, which is unfortunate. They're kind of cool new design for Magic, for a new way to think about how packs are designed and a new experience for opening packs. So if you're looking for a set booster, you need to get a hold of us real quick for that, because we're only getting 18 boxes, and I don't know how many of those are already pre-sold. So you can call the store either tonight or tomorrow and get your pre-orders in for that, or just send us a message to the store, right? We're pretty laid back right now with COVID-19. We are going to have a bundle for pre-releases at home. So if you've got a roommate or a spouse or significant other that plays Magic with you, we're going to have a bundle deal where you'll be able to get 2 pre-release packs and a can of soda, or 2 cans of soda and 2 pieces of candy out of our case for a nice price. It'll be $50 to get that bundle. So that'll be good. So basically you're getting the soda and you're getting the candy for free if you buy 2 pre-release kits. That's what it really comes down to. But it's just kind of we saw another stores doing it. Thought that'd be a fun way to promote people playing at home. Well, until we can get the events back up and running at the store. Speaking of COVID-19, of course, we have seen a ridiculous number of cases coming out of ISU right now. Bloomington City Council and Normal Town Council and McLean County and the health department are all working on it, trying to keep it contained. Town of Normal tomorrow night is voting on, Mayor Coos put in a couple of emergency orders limiting the size of crowds and parties to 10 people on last Thursday or Friday. And then, but the mayor's emergency declarations in the town of Normal, I think, are only good for 7 days. So Normal Town Council is having an emergency meeting tomorrow, and it will limit the number of people in a party to 10 people, including the host. And they're bars and restaurants in Normal will only be allowed to have as many people in there as they have seats for them. So there won't be massive crowds standing at the bar anymore. That'll only be whatever the number of seats you can have, i.e. your maximum capacity by the fire marshal. That will be the maximum number of people that they're going to be able to serve while the emergency order is in effect. ISU is having an emergency meeting, I think tomorrow as well, tomorrow morning, to talk about what they're doing to try to keep COVID-19 cases down at the college because, the first week and a half of college, ISU returning the session, we had 1,000 cases in town. So, out of 20,000 kids, 1,000 of them are already sick. And we know how COVID-19, how rapidly it spreads. Luckily, our ISU students, Jenna and Fook, are smart enough to stay home and not go to those parties, like the big 300-person party over at the lodge. A lot of the college apartments have closed all the common areas down, so there can't be any more parties at those. And then Bloomington City Council, we're waiting to see if Normal has ISU under control or if we have to step in and take action as well. We've already had some pretty serious talks with all of the bartenders not the bartenders, but the bar owners in Bloomington that if they are not paying attention to the COVID-19 restrictions laid out by the governor, there will be consequences for that. So a couple of people are pretty ticked off at us about that, but I think that a little inconvenience from everybody right now is way better than if we get rolled back to phase 3. Because at phase 3, all of indoor seating for bars and restaurants goes back to 0. They can only have outdoor seating, and the weather's going to start to turn here pretty quick. Under phase 3, all the health clubs have to close back down, and a lot of other places similar to health clubs that weren't allowed to be open in phase 3 are going to end up being closed down. The only thing worse than what we're going through right now is going to be to roll backwards in the phases and end up with more shutdowns and stuff because there's more and more businesses that have closed and are closing permanently. And there's nothing that we can really do about it. We're trying to provide business assistance. We're trying to provide individualized assistance. But if there's no customers, there's no customers. If there's no revenue coming in, there's no revenue coming in. So we need to do everything in our power to not roll back to phase 3, to keep these places open so that they can at least do the limited amount of business that they can do right now. I know it's tempting on everybody to want to rush to the bars and see all the friends and see everybody and stuff, but like 75 kids got sick out of that one party at the lodge. So that was a little ridiculous. We got to keep that into account as well. Let's see what else. God, I don't know. I've been kind of babbling here for about a half an hour. Does anybody have any other questions? Let's see if anything else comes in here. Jesse and Jeff and I got to play a game of Calico earlier. You guys saw that. Calico was a pretty awesome worker placement game. It's not a worker, it's a tile laying game. And you can score points in the game by getting 3 of any color put together, scores you a button. Getting 3 or more of patterns that the cats like and they want to sit in your lap, scores you points that way. Or there are kind of point salad randomized ways you can score by either putting together patterns of colors, sections of colors, sections of patterns, or sections of colors and patterns to score the maximum number of points. And Jesse wanted everybody to take a vote over who was going to win that one. This guy won. I managed to score on all 3 of the randomized point ways that we could score, and Jeff scored on none of the 3 of those. So I got all those points and he got none. So I did defeat Jeff 54-36. Jesse and Fook then played a game while Jeff and I ran the upstairs because we were trying to get everybody to really get familiar with some of the games that are coming out. And Jesse and Fook played, and Fook said he made one bad decision and it cost him 4 points, and he lost the game to Jesse by 3 points. So he was still a little bit bitter when I left the store to come back home that he had lost the game, and he wants a rematch on Jesse. So we'll see when we can get that in. We are making a bigger effort to play a lot more games around the store right now so that we can show you guys all the games that we're playing. And we've been playing Mariposas. We've been playing Calico. Meeple Tower is on our list to play. It's a new game from WizKids that looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. So we'll be checking that one out. Jeff taught another D&D 101 last night. It would be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Actually, no, he's teaching it right now. Might be, he's still going. It started at 6 o'clock tonight. So he's teaching another D&D 101 over Zoom right now. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to play D&D, just wait for us to post the next one of those up. And Jeff's a pretty amazing teacher for Dungeons and Dragons. What else? We looked at some numbers for August. The number one board game that we sold in August was Illusion, which anybody who's been at the store and had Jeff talk to them about Illusion and about how much he loves Illusion completely understands why we sold more copies of Illusion than any other board game for the month of August. Illusion was pretty high up on the list. And then right behind Illusion, Zombie Kids was there, which is the other game that Jeff loves. He does an amazing job explaining it. Zombie Kids is a great game that parents can play with their kids or the kids can play by themselves. It's an awesome legacy-style zombie game that keeps changing and evolving as it goes along, which is why parents can play it without wanting to poke their eyes out and why kids love it too. And then we also found out that there's the first sequel to Zombie Kids, which is going to be called Zombie Teens, is hopefully going to be out for Christmas. We're really, really looking forward to that one and hope they make that out. It's a new game from Yellow, and we're really hoping that it makes it out in time for Christmas. That'll be one of the ones that we go heavy on and probably will get added to the Christmas catalog as long as we can get enough copies of it. So John Stevens, if you're watching this, you need to make sure we get enough copies of that game. What else was big? And Wingspan was still pretty hot. So we sold 24 copies of Illusion. We did 12 copies of Wingspan. So that was the number 2 game. And then 11 copies of Zombie Kids Evolution. So Wingspan has now been out for a full year, I think. Has it been a full year or is it 2 years? God, I can't even remember. It's got to be closer to 2 years because we've already got the European expansion out. And still almost impossible to buy and get anywhere. It's a great game. It is a high quality, really good game designed by Elizabeth Hardick, and we've got her sequel game in the store right now, Mariposas, which we sold 9 copies of. So it's in the top 10 board game list as well. Root is also in our top 10 board games list for August at 10 copies. As well as Goblet Gobblers. And then Jaws of the Lion rounds out the top 10. That's Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion with 8 copies of that one done. So Jaws of the Lion, everybody is saying it's being pitched as, and people that are playing it, you guys that are coming back and telling us, are confirming that it was designed to be an easier way to teach people how to play Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is it's pretty crazy, amazing game. It's a legacy game with 91 possible missions you can unlock in it. And it can be 100% completely overwhelming for most people. So they designed Jaws of the Lion to teach you how to play the game. And then once you're done with Jaws of the Lion, you can take your characters from Jaws of the Lion and you can actually use those to play Gloomhaven. And then you know what's going on. You know the characters that you're familiar with. I'm going to try something and see if I break our point of sale system. I'm actually going to try to run a report and see if I can run a report that goes from January 1st through August 31st to look at what the number 1 game that we've sold the most copies of for the entire year is. My money says it's actually Illusion because we've sold a lot of Illusion this year. But we're going to see if I can get this report to run here. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to give it a shot here. It's thinking. It's compiling thousands and thousands of sales for the last 6 months of the year 7 months of the year into a single report, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, it's not really happy with me. So, well, we're going to let that run a little minute, and see what happens there. Let's see, Calico. We're looking forward to. We just did put a restock order in for. We had Fort, which is the new game from Leader Games, which is supposed to be a lot more friendly and less intimidating than Root is. So we have a restock of Fort on the way. We have a restock of some of the Root expansions on the way. Jesse got a bunch of tiny plastic robots in today. So he did a little bit of a live video earlier today on some classic tiny plastic robots there. See if I can do this down the board games here. Okay. Yep. Number one board game so far for 2020 is Illusion, with 110 copies of Illusion. Did we mention that Jeff really likes Illusion, guys? Zombie Kids is number 2 at 45 copies. Goblet Gobblers, number 3 at 32 copies. Tenzi at 27 copies. Wingspan at 25. We probably could have sold a lot more Wingspan if we could have gotten it. King of Tokyo Dark Edition, 24 copies. Root at 23. Secret Hitler 23, which we finally did get a restock on. Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion, the reskin of Betrayal at House on the Hill, is at 23 copies. Happy Salmon, 22. Is that my top 10? Looks like my top 10. Yeah. Catan is still hanging in there. People are still buying Catan, guys. I know everybody's like, oh my God, Catan, that's such old news. But people are still discovering board games as a hobby. We still sell quite a bit of Catan. King Domino, 2017 Game of the Year. Tiny Epic Tactics we sold a bunch of. Dungeon Mayhem from the Dungeons and Dragons card game is pretty awesome. Point Salad, Forbidden Island. Man, not really a surprise to me in anything here. Marvel Champions LCG, the Thor Hero Pack, 15 copies of that. Root Underworld, I think we've actually sold. We sold 14 of that in the store. We've also sold some of that online during the shutdown. Splendor, Wingspan European, Quacks of Quedlinburg. We could sell more of that and Isle of Cats if we could get them consistently. They're just too popular. They keep selling out. So lots of really good stuff. Echidna Shuffle's in that list. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I haven't ever looked at this report this way. Under books and novels, we sold 17 of the World Builders Journal. So that's pretty awesome. People have been loving that one. And the Adventure Zone comic books, we've sold quite a few of those too. I wonder I'm assuming the number one RPG book is going to be the D&D Player's Handbook. Let's find that. See if we can find that here. Role-playing games. Oh, it's not being granular. Oh, that's harsh. Yeah, I've never looked at this view before. This can't be super exciting to watch me scroll through this online. Oh, man. We've sold 180 different Gundam kits. Is that right? 180 different SKUs of Gundam kits. That's kind of fun. Gundam is a category that Jesse had to talk me into because I know nothing about Gundam whatsoever. And he said, hey, I think this is something that our customer base would really enjoy. And I said, okay, man. And he's like, there was a package from the New York Toy Fair that was like a starter kit for $400. And I'm like, yeah, Jesse, let's try it out, man. I don't know anything about Gundam whatsoever. I've never seen the cartoon. I don't really know anything about it. I used to watch Battletech and Robotech and Macross Saga and stuff when I was a kid. And so I said, let's try it out. And he's like, okay. And he ordered the $400 like starter pack, and it sold out the second day we had it. And then since then, he's done an amazing job of building up Gundam in the store. If you're interested in Gundam, the best way to do it is get on Jesse's pre-order list and pre-order the Gundams that you're looking for. That way, when they show up at the store, you have a guaranteed copy, because a lot of them that come into the store sell out so fast, and then we can't get reprints of them for a long time. They're the Gundam factory, Bandai, the company that makes them all, is not super great at getting reprints made. They just keep making new stuff. And so then every once in a while, they'll go back and they'll reprint some stuff. I was right. Player's Handbook is number one for RPGs, followed by the Mythic Odysseys of Theros, and then Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, which makes sense. That's the two new books that came out so far this year. Of course, our third new book will be out. Actually, we have two more books coming out this year, with the Icewind Dale book and then the new Tasha's guide. So one's a campaign adventure and one's new things to do with your character, where you can have different backgrounds and stuff, rather than saying my dwarf, because he's a dwarf, he has to have smithing and mining, and you can build completely custom backgrounds and customize your traits for your characters and stuff. So that sounds pretty awesome. I think that's about it for tonight, guys. I mean, we're always wanting to do this and take your guys' questions. Maybe we're getting to a point where you guys are tired of us doing this and it's just time to retire the Red Raccoon Games Live. The store is doing well. Pantograph nominations are out right now. So if you guys would like to support the store, one of the ways you can do it right now is you can log into the Pantograph nominations, which we did share on the store, and you can nominate us. In past years, we've been up for Best Gaming. We've been up for Best Toy Store. Some years we've done well on that one. Some years we've lost to the Gingerbread House. Love the Gingerbread House, so never mind taking second place to the ladies over there, but we like to be nominated there so parents are aware that we have more than just games. We also have toys and stuffies and things of that nature at the store. You can nominate us for Best Local Business if you wanted to. There's also, and that's all in the retail and shopping section. And then outside of that, in the eats section, the dining and eats section, there's a category in there for best place to game that's not video gambling, right? And so you could put us in there, if you wanted to vote us for there. And then also in that section, there was something else that was in there that I thought might be applicable to us. Those nominations and those votes really do matter to local businesses, because getting that kind of advertising any other way would cost $1,000 without even thinking about it. But if we win, or even if we get second place, we're printed in the Reader's Choice Guide that I know a lot of people in town read digitally or get the print version and keep it around their house. So, because sometimes you want to know what other people want to do when they're voting for who they recommend for plumbers and electricians and Mexican food and Asian food and Italian food, or real estate agents or mechanics, right? If for mechanics, like I would recommend, I got recommended to me Morris Avenue Garage over on the west side, and they have completely taken care of Kelly and I's vehicles. And I never even knew where the place was until my friend Todd recommended. I'm like, Todd, you know about cars. Where would you take your car for brake work? I'd take it to Morris Avenue. They've done an amazing job. It's been great. So, but if you don't get those recommendations from people you trust, how do you even know, right? If you have an old house that has old plumbing like my house does, I would recommend calling Sonko Plumbing, because they kind of specialize in working in old houses that were built weird 100 years ago. Things like that. So the Reader's Choice Awards do matter. I know a lot of people, it is a ploy to get eyeballs by the Pantograph. Totally get that. Completely understand, completely agree. But just be aware that it does matter to local businesses. So nominate your favorite places that you like to go and shop. Locally owned places, of course, are the best. So this is nomination round. If we get enough nominations, then we'll go to the voting round. The voting round happens in October. And so when the voting round starts, we'll be letting you guys know too, because then we're going to want your vote to see if we can win some of these categories. We've got Best Gaming Store multiple years in a row, or it's just called Best Gaming. and it's us and Play Normal Sports and 8-Bit, which are all great businesses, and we all provide a service and a lot of fun to people. We've gotten Best Toy Store once and runner-up to Best Toy Store twice, I think now. So, we'd love to have your guys' support. And with that, I think I'm going to call that a night. It's about 8:50. I've been rambling for about an hour. As always, though, keep sending in your messages. Let us know what you want to know about, and we will get it sorted out for you. We'll get you the best information we can. Anything we don't have in the store in stock, we will always special order for you, and it's 10% off because it wasn't there when you wanted it. So thank you guys all for your continued support. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a great non-95 degree week this week. All right, we'll talk to you.